Hi guys, Robbo46 here, welcome yourselves back to MotoGP 19 on the Xbox One X. Let's continue with Pro Career Mode. Round 12 of Moto 2 is at Silverstone, my home race. So let's see if I can do a good result here and hopefully get back on winning ways. Not so great at the Red Bull Ring. Yeah, so we need to make amends for that. Okay, let's start our flying lap. FP3 was absolutely fine, managed to be quickest overall, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to continue this in qualifying. See what kind of lap time we can do. It actually took me quite a few laps to kind of get myself going around here. I kept making loads of mistakes and it just wasn't really feeling it, but eventually kind of got my act together and now we are ready to qualify, hopefully well, but we have to wait and see. And then of course we go to Misano after this, and then we're getting ready to wrap up the season fairly soon. Okay. So one of my teammates on track at the moment, just ahead of me, Bezzecchi. I think he may end up getting in the way. I think we're going to catch him. Yeah, we're going to catch him. We might have to shove up the inside. Sorry, Bezzecchi, but I'm dive bombing you. There we go. Needed to do that to get past him. I've gone wide there though through the loop. Right. I don't think it affected our time too much getting past Bezzecchi. And we're already pulling away from him, so it kind of shows how much we're quicker than him. Okay. Coming through Luffield, and then we just got Woodcote to go. Right, to the line. Yeah, 206.9. Is that going to be enough?
That's the end of the second and
so,
last qualifying session,
it was just enough by 0.2 of a second.
Tomorrow's Grand Prix.
Wasn't my quickest lap though. Went quicker. So, race time. Need to change our tyres because it's 38 degrees. So, medium front and a medium rear. I think that would do us. I think that would do, yeah. Others have gone for, well, Marquez has gone for the same. Some have gone for a hard rear.
The riders are on the Silverstone starting grid and are ready to face one of the most demanding Grand Prix of the whole year.
So, my home Grand Prix. See what we can do. Here we go. Okay. Wow. That wasn't a too bad a start. I've had a hell of a lot worse in this season. So currently in third, just behind Marquez and Baldassarri. And whoa, what happened to Marquez there? That was weird. Just looked like he sat up. That was very weird. Okay, well, he's still in third, so I really don't know what happened there. Very, very weird, unless he's just completely way offline. Don't know. But we're in the second anyway, just behind Lorenzo Baldassarri. A win at home would be good. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with Baldassarri's pace, because he's got a little gap at the moment. So we have to wait and see. Oh, Chantra is down. So 0.4 of a second gap to Baldassarri, a second back to Marquez. We ain't got to worry about Marquez for the time being. We can just focus our attack on Baldassarri and hope we can close in a little bit more. We're not too far behind, so that's fine. It's only lap 1 of 15 anyway. Oh, Brad Binder is down as well. Okay, so that's already a couple of crashes that we've had on, well, this opening lap. Baldassarri is getting away. That gap has definitely gone up. Fernandez up to 3rd. Baldassarri is pulling the pin. That's got to be almost a second. It is. Okay. So Baldassarri's got some serious pace here. I'm going to have to try and get my head down and see if I can actually catch him, because it's not looking good at the moment. Can I catch Baldassarri? We'll keep an eye on the splits. It's already over a second now. We're only on lap 2. But Lorenzo Baldassarri is pulling away. I am going into no man's land. The loneliest place to be in a race. This might end up being a second place around here. See what the gap is. It's still over a second. It's still 1.2 back to Fernandez, who's breaking away from everyone else behind him. So he's going to be by himself very soon in 3rd place. Unless he starts going quicker than me, then he might start closing in. At which point I will start worrying a little bit. It's like the gap's closed down to Baldassarri a little bit, but these are slow corners. Yeah, it's under a second. So it has come down a bit. He just seems to be able to get a better exit out of the corners and carry more corner speed. Okay, so coming to the end of lap 2. What kind of lap time is Baldassarri doing this time? 206.7, 206.8 from me, so just a 1/10 of a second slower than Baldassarri on that second lap. Which is why the gap has still gone up by a 1/10 of a second to a full second. So even though we've both gone quicker, which we obviously would after a standing start, he's still a 1/10 quicker. That looks like it's closed in a little bit there though. 0.7 it has, okay. There are going to be certain sections of this track where I'm going to be able to close in. I just need to take full advantage of that. So, see what the split is in a minute, but that is definitely coming down a bit into Vale. It's going to be so confusing when I get to Silverstone on F1 2019, because this is the start grid for that. So it's going to be very confusing for me. Still 0.7. Closing. Okay, so we've seen a few corners where I'm able to close the gap down, which is obviously very good news for me. Marquez down to 5th. I still don't know what happened to him on lap 1. It was very weird. He just seemed to sit up and slow right down, but I do think he was way offline anyway. But yeah, 0.4. We've caught back up to Baldassarri. So this, theoretically, should be the fastest lap of the race from me. We're almost right with him. Honestly thought when it got to over a second that he was just going to keep pulling away, but managed to take quite a bit of time out of him on this lap. Okay, what are the lap times? 206.3 from me, that's much better. So we do indeed have the fastest lap of the race at the moment. So So me versus Baldassarri. We've really pulled away from Fernandez in third. Got to try and close in a little bit more. We close in a bit through turn 5. 0.6 at the moment. Fernandez 2.6 behind, so we ain't got to worry about him. Not close enough for slipstream at the moment. Okay. Should be able to close up a little bit more through club. Definitely take more corner speed there. 0.3. Right, we've got a race on our hands here. Just between me and Lorenzo Baldassarri. Taking wide sweeping lines just to try and get the better exit out the corners. Seems to be working at the moment because we are right on him at the moment. He's leaving some tyre marks behind, so he's definitely that's me wide, using a lot of rear tyre. I don't know if this is going to be another fastest lap. Probably not. What did we do? 2:06.3 last time round. Yeah, 2:06.7 that time. So yeah, it wasn't quicker. But we are still with him. That's the main thing. We're still with the leader. I just can't find a way past at the moment. I can't get close enough to try and find a way past. I do think he might end up using up his rear tyre though. So he's leaving a lot of tyre marks behind. Down into Stowe. A bit too hot there. Try and get the exit down towards Vale. It's definitely this section we seem to close the gap back down, especially coming through Club Corner. There we go. Yeah, we got much better exit that time. Come on. Turn it. Yeah, so he's leaving tyre marks behind through the last corner. So he can't be doing his rear tyre any good. Come on, get a good exit out of here. Okay, we are on Baldassarri now. This is the closest we've been going through Woodcote. There's another 2:06.7. Try to go around the outside, that's not going to work there, unfortunately. But we are very close. I don't want to have a go through Maggots and Beckett's unless he goes wide, which he has, but not wide enough to allow me through. Through Chapel. Are we through? Are we through? Not quite. Not quite. So staying in second for the time being. We're on lap 6. We are still with him. through club. Try and get the exit round the outside. There we go. He was pretty slow through club that time. He was on the inside curb, which obviously didn't help the matter. Is that it? Is that me in the lead, ready to pull away? Sounds like he's closing though. Oh! Bit of a nudge there from him, but he didn't get through. Wide from me. Oh! Oh, that was close. He almost completely wiped me out then. Okay. I see what you're doing here. Andrea Locatelli has crashed. Through Luffield. And through Woodcote. 2:07.8. It's only a tenth of a second slower than my last couple of laps. Trying to go around the outside again, but again it's not going to work there. Again, he always goes wide through Maggots and Beckett's, which definitely compromises his speed, especially at turn 5. We definitely get a better exit through Chapel as well. Might be able to get alongside him here. Yes, we do. Momentarily in the lead, but he is back through into the lead. Me back down a second, trying to go around the outside through Stowe. That's not going to work. I'm not close enough to have a lunge into Vale either. We're going the long way around. Get the run on him through club. And again, we are through. Will he be able to respond this time? We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, staying in the lead. It's not close enough. Through farm, down to village, wide from me. Oh, there he is. Through the loop. This is where he almost took me out last time. Still in the lead. And remaining in the lead at the moment. Oh, he went wide there. He went very wide. He's lost quite a bit of time now. That could be all she wrote for Baldassarri. The gap has really opened up. He made a big mistake. Yeah, that might be it from him. I might just be able to pull away now. On lap 8 of 15. He might be able to close me back in, but I'm going to try and not allow him to do that. Try and maintain the lead. Okay. Seems like he's closed in a little bit now. Gap is over a second of Baldassarri. So pretty much stabilised around the 1 second mark for now. Hoping that we can just keep eking out that gap and take the win, especially here at home for me. See what it is over the line. 1.1, so it's only gone up slightly, so not a huge amount. Alright, let's just keep doing tidy laps. Gap's still the same, 1.1. So he's holding on. We must be doing similar pace. Just that one mistake that's cost him. I'm hoping we can extend it a little bit more, because I don't think we're going to be completely safe, especially if tyres start going off. Although third place looks like he's closing in, if that is still Fernandez. Okay, 1.4, the gap has gone up. So is Fernandez picking up his pace? Oh, that's me too wide into village. Way too wide. That's lost me time as well. Come on. What's the gap gonna be now? It's definitely come down. Oh no, it hasn't. It's still, well, it's gone up 1.5. It was 1.4. Still got a grip in the rear, so that's good. I mean, the tyres are pretty much degrading at the same rate, which is fine. We're in the 207s, 1.6 now the gap, so yeah, the gap is definitely going up. We got 10 laps remaining. We're on lap 10. So, still a little bit of time to go, but we are looking good for this win at the moment. Like, gap looks like it's just starting to go up section by section now, corner by corner. What is the gap now? 1.6. So we're definitely pulling away now from Baldassarri. Whilst we are pulling away, shall we talk about the racing we had on Sunday at Qatar? Obviously no MotoGP due to obviously the whole thing with coronavirus at the moment. But we still had Moto3 and Moto2, and both were absolutely fantastic races. Moto3, that was a cracking race throughout the whole race, and that was eventually won by Albert Arenas. The gap is over 2 seconds now, so yeah, we've got plenty of time to talk. There's Albert Arenas took the win for Moto3. Less than a tenth behind, in fact half a tenth behind him, was John McPhee, who he was looking like he was going to try and get him to the line, but he went a bit too defensive into the final corner, thinking he had people behind him or directly behind him. So he went a bit defensive into the final corner, which compromised his exit, so he didn't get to get the run or the slipstream to the line. But yeah, very, very close second place. Then you had Ogura in third place, who was actually promoted to third. Masia was fourth. Masia went over the line in third, but because he was exceeding track limits on the final lap, they demoted him one position back down to fourth. So Ogura did actually take the podium. Then you had Suzuki. He took fifth place after starting on pole position and getting a really, really good start. But yeah, it was a really good battle. You had Darren Bender in there. He had it coming together with Tony Arbolino, and unfortunately ended up crashing. Arbolino stayed on, but went off track and lost a load of positions. But yeah, really good race. Really bizarre watching Moto3 and Moto2 without MotoGP happening afterwards. But yeah, Moto3, cracking racing as always. And Moto2 was a really good race as well, actually. Sometimes Moto2 can be a bit spread out, but it was really close. Luca Marini led most of the race, but quite a few of their front tyres were just going off towards the last quarter of the race. So you saw some names just completely tumble through the order. Joe Roberts, who started on pole, he was fighting in the lead throughout the whole race, but it was Tatsuta Nagashima who actually took the race win on the Red Bull KTM, which isn't actually a KTM frame this season. KTM have obviously, they pulled out of Moto2 last, at the end of last season. Oh no, put all their efforts into MotoGP. So although it is a KTM badge, it is a Kalex chassis, obviously with a Triumph engine, but it's got Red Bull KTM on the fairings. So yeah, they're actually running Kalex chassis this year. But yeah, Nagashima, he took the win. He rode a really smart race. He was in the pursuing pack to the leaders, who eventually caught them, and then he just timed it pretty much to perfection. Got into the lead with a few laps to go, and because he had saved his tyres throughout the race, he just managed to pull away from everyone and go on to take the win. An emotional win. It was 10 years after the late Tomizawa took the first ever Moto2 victory, so he dedicated his win to Tomizawa. In second place was Lorenzo Baldassarri. He was fighting for the win most of the race, and was looking like one of the favourites to win at one point, but once Nagashima got past, Nagashima managed to gap them all. But yeah, Baldassarri came home in second, and Ennio Bastianini took third place. A really strong start to his season as well on the Ital Trans Kalex. And Joe Roberts, who started on pole, like I said, he ended up in fourth place, which is by far and away his best result in Moto2. Last year he was on an NTS chassis, which isn't a very favourable chassis, especially last year. So yeah, he was quite far down the order last season, but he switched to a Kalex as well, and he's definitely showing that he has got the talent, he has got the pace. Now that he's got the chassis, he is ready to fight for wins. Of course, it is only round one, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes forward throughout the season as well. Like I said, Luca Marini, he did lead most of the race at one point, but his front tyre went off, as did Jorge Martin's, and they just dropped through the field. And a little bit of a coming together with Jake Dixon on the final lap. Jake was just catching him hand over fist throughout the final lap, and went up the inside into the final corner, and unfortunately just a little collision with Marini, which sent Marini down onto the ground. Racing incident, I mean, the gap was there, and Jake was just that much quicker than Marini at the end of the race. So yeah, Marini unfortunately did not finish the race. He is fine though. Lowe's' name just popped up on the screen. He didn't actually unfortunately race because he had a pre-season injury on his shoulder. He tried doing a couple of free practice sessions, but ultimately it was just too painful and he couldn't ride the way he wanted to, so he didn't race. His teammate Augusto Fernandez, he ended up crashing out as well, so not a good weekend for the Martin VDS squad. But yeah, really good racing. Like I said, it was very, very bizarre not to have MotoGP after Moto2, but obviously with everything going on in the world at the moment, that wasn't possible. It's looking very, very unlikely that the first MotoGP round is going to be Circuit of the Americas. because apparently the government in Austin, Texas, they cancelled a music festival there, and that was the government that cancelled it, not the organisers. So it's very likely that the government there are going to cancel the MotoGP race as well, postpone it. So it is going to be out of Dorna's hands. So yeah, it's looking like the first round of MotoGP is probably, maybe, going to be Argentina. But we have to wait and see. It's all speculation. It's all up in the air at the moment. Obviously, things are still getting worse. Italy is locking down a lot of provinces within the country. One of which is where Rossi and his VR46 Academy is based. So a lot of the MotoGP riders, team personnel and that cannot travel from Italy to anywhere at the moment. So and that's until at least April. So yeah, it's not looking good at the moment. I'm hoping that we're going to get some MotoGP racing at some point. Apparently, I think they were saying yesterday that to enable it to be considered a world championship, it has to be a minimum of 13 races. So as long as they get 13 races in the season, it can be considered a world championship season. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, we should be able to get at least 13 races, but yeah, we might end up missing out on quite a few races. Other thing to bear in mind, I know obviously fans in that, like myself, are going to be disappointed in that, but spare a thought for obviously the riders, the team, the organisers and all the staff and that. Obviously this is their jobs that they do throughout the year, and they obviously can't do them at the moment. And obviously it's going to be a right nightmare for the organisers to reorganise events and stuff. So it's not just the fans that are affected, it's literally everyone within the sport itself. So it's not good, it's not ideal, but unfortunately it's not just affecting the fans, it's affecting everyone within the sport itself. We are losing loads of time talking about everything at the moment. 1.3 the gap has come down to. Can I hold on for 1.5 laps to take the win? My rear is moving around a hell of a lot now, so my rear tyre is pretty much spent. I'm going to have a hard trouble keeping hold of this lead. The gap is coming down rapidly, which I'm a bit concerned about. 1.6, it's actually gone up 0.3 of a second, but yeah, we are not safe anymore. Got to try and hold on for one more race. One more lap even, one more race. Oh, Marcel Schrotter, he's down. Oh, he's down again, okay. In the race at Qatar, him and his teammate, Luti, they did not have a very good race at all. That team seems to be struggling with the tyres at the moment. Schrotter finished in, I think it was 7th place. And Luti, I think he was like 10th or something. So not ideal for that team or those riders, but at least they got some points on the board. And yeah, just got to wait for the next round, whenever that will be, or wherever that will be. The gap has come down to 1.1. I think we might just have enough. We might just have enough to hold on to this, but anything can happen. I've definitely lost a lot of grip in the rear tyre. Would not want to lose it on the last lap, that is for sure. We had to work hard to catch up to Baldassarri. He made that mistake which cost him quite a bit of time. I cannot get the line through Club anymore. 1.2. It's actually gone up a tenth of a second. His tyres can't be doing much better than mine, considering he was leaving loads of rubber marks everywhere. Okay, quarter of a lap to go. Come on, we can do this. It's getting close. It is getting close. We need to get a good run through Aintree. It was okay. 1.4. I think we got enough. I think we're alright. It was just a little bit concerning. Okay, 2 corners to go. Okay, 1 corner to go. Woodcote. It is going to be a win at home. There we go. Managed to hold on. Managed to take the win.
While the riders complete a victory lap, let's
1.1 we won by in the end. Fastest lap of the race as well. So that is good. Alright. So no points in the last race at the Red Bull rank. Maximum points here. 104 point lead now. It's not going to be many races until we wrap up the title.
This victory is the cherry on top of an exhausting weekend. If his team keeps working like this, it will be really difficult for his opponents to overtake him.
That's the whole point. Then we go up to MotoGP. Right then, let's look at the leaderboards for all the categories, starting of course with Red Bull Rookies Cup. Noguchi is leading that from Dupasquale in second. Carlos Tati moved down 2 places to third. Salvador fourth and Yuki Kuni in 5th place. Moto3 is Messia leading that from Antonelli second. Dallaporte third. Aaron Canet fourth and Vietti up to 5th place. Then we go over to Moto2, which obviously I'm leading by a huge margin from Luti in second. Baldassari third. Schrotter in 4th and Luca Marini in 5th place. And then we go over to MotoGP, which is now Marquez leading that from Rins in second, Dovi third, Rossi fourth, and Crutchlow now up to 5th place. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more content. Shall see you guys in the next video. See you.